by a fellow conservationist named Chris Pacman, a British naturalist in the BBC. Known for his award-winning films, Pacman daringly predicted that it is a waste of time and resources to spend money on saving endangered species such as the giant panda and the tiger that, according to him, are destined to be extinct. Well, let me quote him. Quote, "I don't think tigers are going to last under 15 years, he declared, shocking both friends and foes alike." Again, I'm quoting him. "How can you conserve an animal that is worth more dead than alive?" he continued. And then he finally added, "You can't." Well, we can dismiss his words as the words of an attention-grabbing telecaster, or we can take up his words as a brass challenge to all of us here. The choice is ours. Our choice is clearly to prove him to be totally wrong by ensuring that the tigers are around by 2025 and beyond. How can we do it? Can we do it? We in the Save the Tiger Fund believe that we can do it. However, we also believe that the efforts of the governments alone will not be enough. Governments need help and long-term commitment from the global community by creating sustainable financing mechanism through public, private sector, and NGO partnership. More importantly, we believe that the tigers can be brought back from the brink of extinction if we can garner and build the political will to save the tiger that the Prime Minister of Nepal, in his presence here today, has demonstrated. Yes, indeed, we can prove people like Pacman are wrong. Although not as surprising as the Pacman shock, as I call it, I also got jolted by a new pundit of the use it or lose it paradigm. Well, I'm quoting a journalist from the US. "The best way to save any endangered species," he said, "is to eat them." That was the word of a very well-known journalist called John Stossel, the co-anchor of America's ABC 2020 program. He was airing a special program on tigers in May. Stossel, a writer, an author, and an investigative journalist, said that the ability of Americans to buy bison burgers in the supermarket in the United States proves that endangered species, such as the tiger, can be saved if we encourage Asians to start eating tiger bones, tiger flesh, or drinking tiger wine. He too argued that private owners should be encouraged to raise and sell tigers for human consumption. Now you might ask, what do I think about this statement? I do not want to use strong adjectives in this distinguished gathering, but I will say he is wrong, absolutely wrong. To me, comparing tigers to bisons is comparing apples not only to oranges, but comparing a cat with a rat. Though we know that Stossel was talking total nonsense, and the tiger farming has not stopped poaching of the wild tiger, people like Stossel are using the tiger farming to promote an ideology, a very dangerous ideology. Therefore, we need to face the challenges emerging from tiger farming head-on with an agenda based not on rhetoric, but on the reality. 20 years ago, few of us who are in this room today had assembled in the city of Minneapolis to deliberate the best options to save the tiger. There was a general consensus that good science is fundamental to develop good strategies and good management plans to save the tiger. Yet, some of us argued that saving the tiger is not science like physics and chemistry, but akin to politics. It is an art of the possible. But the art of the possible is not possible without generating a political will. The current debate on climate change in the United States and elsewhere indicate that good science alone is not enough. The solution needs good politics. Thus, we must commend the World Bank in recognizing the needs for a political will and the needs to involve key politicians and key decision makers to save the tiger and to move forward with the Global Tiger Summit next year in the Russian Far East. Decades ago, when we were young, wild, and a bit idealistic and had long hairs, my good friend John Sticker, who is here, asked me 3 questions as we were planning the Smithsonian Nepal Tiger Ecology Project. First question John asked me, was how can we help humans and tigers live as good neighbors and ensure that their relationship is symbiotic and not antagonistic? Second, how can we make a living wild tiger more valuable than a dead tiger to the local people and to the government? Third, how can we make tiger conservation not a barrier but a catalyst for the betterment of human life in the tiger communities? As I continued to search for John's pointed questions, answers for John's pointed questions, I have learned a lesson, a basic lesson. Planning and designing projects to do the right thing is not enough. Doing smart thing is what is needed to deliver results on the ground. Being smart means linking the survival of tiger with human welfare. After all, saving tigers preserves forest that reduces and sequesters carbon and helps fight climate change, which affects all of us. Saving the tiger also saves soil and water, a lifeline of humanity. Saving the tiger also saves a wide array of biodiversity. The smart thing dictates that we fight for our cause holistically with a war quality mentality. Saving the tiger is a kind of a war where we have won some battles and lost a few. But the war continues. It is a war on poverty and hunger. Indeed, it is a war on population growth and lack of opportunities to make a decent living. Above all, it is a war on ignorance and a war in our own inability to understand the social, cultural, economical, and ethical values in the tiger countries. Can we win this war? To steal a few words from the American President Barack Obama, my answer is yes, we can.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra, for sharing us your knowledge and insights, and also for reinforcing the need to save tigers. And yes, we can save the tigers. So we have a slight change in schedule right now because of the Honorable Vice Minister of Mr. Simaroj early departure for the airport. I would like to first call him on stage to kindly give his remarks.
On behalf of the Royal Thai government, I would like to thank the government of Nepal for hosting the important workshop. Today, I would like to share Thailand's experiences and challenges in conserving wild tiger and other wildlife. Thailand has recently been recognized among international tiger conservation communities that we are holding one of the very last strongholds of wild tiger populations in Indochina. More than 100 wild tigers remain in the Western Forest complex within Hue Kha Kheng and Thung Yai Wildlife Sanctuary, which are Thailand's first Natural World Heritage Site since 1991. In this vast protected area of almost 20,000 square kilometers, the Royal Thai government has been protecting the area in forms of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries for almost half a century. It has taken many generations of Thai conservationists working inside and outside the government to conserve this landscape. Such dedication and actions have given tigers a chance to come back in the area where their population was severely depleted from different disturbance and threats. As an apex predator, tigers are surviving only in places where large forested areas are still intact.